Hey there, friends. This is Gone Gaming coming right at you. So today I want to cover a couple different things in two different videos. We're going to make these shorter than my last 45-minute video. Today, first thing I want to cover, I am playing 100% free-to-play. Now, I have the money to spend here, but I really want to try out the free-to-play gameplay to just see how it feels. So that way I can be a little bit more relatable. Some of the bigger content creators are already spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So you can see what they're doing and get a sense for that yourself. But I wanted to give you guys kind of some realistic expectations, talk about the bottlenecks that you're going to feel because they're different, and where you're going to have progress impeded. So first things first, this is my main. I'm level 70. I just got access to some cool stuff, and I'm just going to kind of jump through real quick all the things that I feel like really matter. So I'm at squad rank 35. I have two alts, and I'm going to jump into those in my next video, talking about alts and how to use them. Number one, hero info. Okay, so biggest thing I'm going to say to you, I find that people spend money on costumes a lot in games, right? Like people, and there's a kind of divide. Some people really like how their character looks, and they're very committed to finding how their character looks. So one thing is free to play. Costumes are still pretty accessible, except for the marquee costume, which is Endgame. So right, like the MCU Endgame movie costumes are the ones that get changed the most. And if you're not aware of this, I'm going to tell you this now, but do not feel locked into the look of a certain thing when you are trying to build it. That's going to matter for a couple of different reasons I'm going to get to. But number one, like I note that I have none of these equipped as my visual look. I like this one more, so I'm doing that one. And I've done a couple of different ones I like. Number two, you can see all of your heads, all of your bodies, all of your weapons or hands, and then all of your feet, boots, pants, whatever they are for that character in A, B, C, D, E. I don't really like this one, and I don't really like favorite either because I end up favoriting something and unfavoriting. My favorite way is to go into theme and look here. Now here's like the one you start off with as Star-Lord. That's your look. And then as you get gear, you get new looks. And you don't have to keep the gear, right? So as soon as you crunch this, you're not going to have it in your inventory anymore. And if I come over to my inventory, you'll see this. But you still get access to the look. So you just have to roll it once and you're done insofar as your actual avatar customization, how you look in game whenever you run around, walk around, etc., etc. So that's pretty easy thing to get around, to be honest. Like I would really like the end game costume, but I'm not getting it, and that's okay. But one thing I will tell you, if there's a certain look that you really like, but you've got the wrong color, it's actually a pretty easy fix. So what you'll do is you'll just come to the costume enhancement station, and it is going to, everybody's focused on the stats it's re-rolling, but some people just care about their look. And you just come to the costume enhancement, you just click on one, and you can re-roll the appearance. I'm probably eventually going to do this one anyway, so let's just do this now. And I'm just going to pick everything I have dupes of. And I'm going to roll this, and you're going to see I get it rolls a different color every time you upgrade it. I mean, you have like a 1 in 8 chance that it'll roll the same, but for me, I've almost always had it roll a different color. And that in my character equip screen is going to unlock a new color for me. So if I come to theme and I go down to Hydra, which is at the bottom, you'll see this is the one I originally had, and then it just gave me this one, which I actually like more. I like that red and black more. So now I have two options, and if I just keep rolling and upgrading this piece, it's going to give me hopefully each of these different ones. And then as I farm this other gear, I'll be able to get that too. So so basically that's how you can roll different colors for a piece, which I care about a lot. And that's an easy way to do it without spending money. And you can always, in the world, go to the shop and buy the gear there. It won't necessarily have the good drops in terms of stats, but you can always get the look that way. It's accessible to everyone. You just have to have the gold. So that's that. And then you can farm these costumes here And you do have to try to get lucky in order to get that, like the Stark City, the new Stark City, the Xand Earth, the Hydra Empire, the Midgardia, and the Sakaar costumes. You don't just get those, and they're pretty rare drops. So like right now I'm farming 7 of those for New Stark City because I like the look of it, and because I'm trying to roll it because I like the stat boosts. So, which brings me to my next topic with regard to costumes. So don't worry about the look. Instead, focus on the stat boosts. Here, I have 2 of these Legendary Origins, and I actually have a boot that's Legendary Origin as well, but the stats are so low that it wasn't worth this 5.8 crit set for me. I'm going to roll that higher when I'm able to upgrade my gear, which I'll be doing after this video. And that will bring me up to 4-star boots, which I can use. So here I'm not getting any of these set bonuses, but as soon as I equip this one, I'm going to be getting plus 2.9% attack and plus 5.8. I've found and done a lot of calculations on this. The auto-equip factors in the set bonuses. So, if it's auto-equipping something else, it's because it's just still better than what you'd be getting otherwise. So here you're seeing I'm getting 14.8 stamina recovery, 3% HP, and 11% HP. Here is 4% less here, and I'm just getting ultimate skill gauge recovery and HP recovery, which personally I actually really like these stats. Skill gauge recovery is really helpful for just getting your ultimate ready, and Star-Lord's ultimate is one of the better boss ultimates in the game because it's like focused down one single character. Most of the other ones I found are kind of like crowd control CC attacks, but Star-Lord's is not. So that's some of the crunches you're going to find just in terms of like cosmetics. The bigger things that I find are people messaging me telling me, hey, Gun Gaming, I'm getting stuck on bosses. And I did too. And the one thing I'm going to tell you, this is just very briefly, make sure you're using this icon right here. Make sure you're using these trait enhancers. And you can drop these right before you go into the boss battle. So typically, like it'll stay like 4 out of 5 stages, and it's like the second to last stage you usually hit the boss. So just pop a bunch of those. They stay for 5 minutes when you use them. And they will really help you out. And then note that there's no timers on bosses, and there's no bonuses for doing them quickly. So if you start to get just blasted down, just run away, get your health back, wait for your cooldowns to reset, and you'll be able to attack it a little harder the next time. If it just feels still way out of reach, then what you should do is create an alt account and start working on your squad rank. Other people are covering that in detail, and I'm going to cover that more in the next video I'm about to record. But your squad power does matter. Make sure you're upgrading this. And I'll also note here, these you don't really get much of a choice which one you're dedicating to, but the bonuses are actually pretty good. So like here, crit rate, crit damage, and then Star-Lord has, everybody's a little bit different. And one thing that I will tell you too about building your character and making your build with armor, omega cards, potential, etc., is think about is kind of work backwards. So most people are coming to the skill screen and they're saying, "Oh, these skills are really cool. I'm going to play those skills." So for me right now, I don't actually love Shock. Shock's not my favorite. It has the lowest guard break. The 25% reduction in damage I don't like as much as the 20% increase in damage I get from burn, which is helpful in PvP mode. It's helpful in bosses. It's helpful in getting points and blitz and beating other people. So I kind of wish that I could do that, but the reason I'm not is because I'm going to take this back one level. You want to come into records, activity log, and you want to complete New Stark City. The most wanteds in New Stark City are not that hard. You have to kill 2 Kingpins and 3 Ultrons. Those are the real barriers. But once you get those ones down, you can complete New Stark City, which if you come to Hydra Empire, you're going to see has a very similar reward. It's going to give you a common card, which, isn't the best. It's not part of a set, but you do get a 5-star exclusive stat with it. So this common card is Defense Pierce when I complete Hydra Empire. And One other quick side note: make sure you're doing this on your main character. If you pull that on an alt character, the stat boost will be for the alt. So just note whichever character you're pulling the card in is the one you're going to get the exclusive stat for. But here was a big difference for me. Star-Lord shock damage, almost 10% damage increase when I do shock. So I'm kind of working backwards from those bonuses. And the cards are really like the biggest bottleneck in the game, I'm finding. You can farm these. You can farm 7 a day. Usually you get sometimes 2 in a drop when you're doing most wanteds. So make sure you're beating 7 most wanteds every day. That's going to help you in this farm for these Omega cards. And you can rank them up pretty easily. But you'll see it's pretty tough to get sets. I only have 1 2-card set, and that was just pretty darn lucky of me to get. But it's like a 0.9% increase for attack on these ones, which is okay. It's not great. And villain damage is mediocre. Super villain damage is pretty helpful. But like my favorite ones that I have are not sets I have complete. So this Red Skull one gives me crit damage, and this Avengers one gives me crit damage as well. And the reason I have that is plus my shock damage. Star-Lord's his buff skill is this battle soundtrack. If you're just playing him level 1, you get this dodge rate, which is fine. Your dodge skill gauge recovery by 27.8 for 10 seconds, and stamina recovery by 27.8 for 10 seconds. And I do notice the stamina recovery does make a difference. And I'm going to talk about stamina at the very end of this video too, because it doesn't give you a great walkthrough on that. But this level 7, I'm only level 7. By the time it gets to 15, it's going to be just nuts, right? This goes up by like almost 2% for every level. So I'm going to be looking at close to 45% increased crit rate. So, which is massive. And if you want to know your stats, quickest way is just come into your character and then you well, I'm on the wrong screen actually. I think you can hit it here. Nope. Okay, the fastest way I've found to do this is just go to squad info, and then you can see your go to squad power. See, they do not make this intuitive. It's around here somewhere. Let's see. There I go, rank 36. Make sure you're doing that. It's really helpful. This is giving me my attack HP, etc. And I can see it from my other characters. Storm is really like my best second alt. But what I want to do is you want to see your stats. Oh my gosh, I always forget where this is. Nope. We're getting there. I'm getting closer. I can feel it in my bones. Nope. Oh my gosh. Somewhere around here you can, there we go. Okay, so you go to hero info. If you felt this before, you'll know my pain. So you want to, you know my pain. So just go here and then just click on your level, not your power. It like only clicks for certain things. It's really annoying. Not your attack, not your defense, not your HP. You have to click your level. So obnoxious. But you're seeing here all. So I just like to see my all, but you can see from your costume. Costumes are really meager stats in my experience. I'm getting like 1500 attack from my costumes. Battle badges are a good way to get some good points, and those are easy to share between characters. Potential is like a reasonable way to get it. Squad power is good. Omega cards are helpful, but here you're seeing the Omega cards are really where I'm getting all my critical damage. And then you get a few small bonuses from alliances, and I haven't unlocked specialization yet. But you can see here, my critical damage is 86.8% increase, and my crit rate is like 9.7. So when I drop my passive boost, that's going up by like another 30. So you want to plan your skills to synergize with that, right? So I'm getting this massive crit damage increase, and then I'm getting this massive crit rate boost. And I know that I'm looking for crit rate rolls, which is why on my gear, I am trying to build this set, really any of Star-Lord's set, but this set specifically is going to give me this increased crit rate by 5.8%. Because I have all 3 of these items at 3 stars. And when they get to 4 stars, it's going to increase even further. So anyway, that's a very long way of telling you how to get around some of these things that like really plague you in the early mid game as a new free-to-play player. Focus on those things and you're going to be okay. And then tune in for my next video where I talk more about squad rank and how you can level up in squad rank, because that does make a massive difference. Last thing I'll say for skills to build them, like for Star-Lord, he has burn, freeze, and shock, and the ult does all 3 of them. And you could try to build him to do all 3, but I found that is not effective. I find that I have a much easier time focusing on one of the debuffs. So for me, it's shock. I get that extra 10% damage with shock, and then the shock, when you land the necessary stacks with it, I think for shock it's like 7, but I'll have to check. It's different for each of them. But anyway, once you hit the max number of stacks, it's going to decrease the opponent's attack by 25% for 7 seconds. And it doesn't tell you what the max stat count is, which is a little annoying. But and then choose the ones that like fit your playstyle best. For me, I love Problem Solver. It has gotten me out of so many pinches where I can't use a dodge. Star-Lord just has kind of like this built-in dodge with a couple of his attacks. Problem Solver and Jet Boots will dash and shoot you off in a different direction so that you can get away from stuff. And they're actually this one is super great. Like right when it hits the apex of the first one right there, you can press dodge and he'll dodge away and then go back and do damage around the other side. So you can like flip behind someone. So pay attention to those. Each different character kind of has different abilities that are like that do different things. Doctor Strange is kind of one of the worst in that like he just kind of stands still for most of his. Same with Storm, but they can shoot long distance. So just know that you can like dodge away and then drop the damage. So that's a fun way to do it. Anyway, I'll be going through like how to do builds for your specific character later, but there's not a set build. There's not like one build that's the best, because it really does, like I've said, come down to what Omega cards you got, what you rolled on this exclusive stat. And if I were to have 5/5s, which I definitely don't, not even close, but I could upgrade this to a 6, or rather I have a chance of upgrading it to a 6. Regardless of what happens though, the exclusive stat will get re-rolled, but it will stay on the character that pulled the card. So it would stay Star-Lord, but it might change to Fire, which again would be my preference. Chill is also really good because you can freeze people. Decreased attack is fine. It works well in PvP, but mostly just because I'm getting that flat bonus from the Omega card. Anyway, finish New Stark City. Get that card. That will really help. And side quests aren't good for XP, but they're actually really helpful for gold. That's the one other thing I'll tell you for free-to-play player. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about this video. If you have requests about something that's causing you grief or giving you bottlenecks, let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, get out there and keep on gaming. Bye for now.